Hey, audience. Once again, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Trevor Martin, and I am the CEO and founder of RMF Coaching. And as you know, I like to kind of put on little short videos, calling them the Way of the Warrior. And the main purpose of these videos is to reach out to modern day warriors and talk to them about how they're impacting the world for good. Whether that be some are coaching, some are simply business leaders that are trying to edge out the bad stuff in the world and promote good things. So tonight I have with me Laura Labrado. Laura, would you introduce yourself to the audience and kind of tell us a little bit about your company and what it is that you do?
Hi, I'm Laura Labrado. I'm CEO of Restore Me Medical Solutions. We do a couple of things in our community. So we provide wound care with multiple wound care products. So we're an all-around wound care team. And then we have another umbrella where we actually are a wound management company for these providers if they need that. So we're
That
trying to make sure the patients get the best care out there.
absolutely, absolutely. That I got to tell you, in today's day and age, that's got to be extremely impactful, especially in the medical world. Can I ask what got you to this point? Like why here? Why now? Why Restore Me?
So it started because I was a clinical director for a wound care center, and I we had all these reps that were coming in, and they didn't know their products. They couldn't help the physician to the best of their ability, or they would, hold on, let me get someone to answer that for you. So I realized there wasn't clinical people in these positions, but yet they're helping these providers treat the patients.
Oh,
I
wow.
felt like my patients were at a big disservice.
Yeah,
So I kind of left my directorship position, and me and my partner started our company. That way we could give these patients the best care with the providers and actually knowing the products, knowing all the way around. As being a nurse for over 10 years in the community and treating them, I wanted to come on the back end to make sure they get the best treatment.
absolutely. That's fantastic. I like hearing the backstory and I like hearing the reason why, right? And you know, that's got to help anybody sleep better at night, knowing that you're number one, knowing that you found something that might not just be right, it's just a little bit off, right? We need to make it right.
Right.
Then making that right and standing by not only who you are, but standing by the people that you represent. That's fantastic.
Right.
Like I'm I'm all smiles here. So you mentioned nursing and you said you had 10 years in the field.
Correct.
What made you, was that like, did that start in childhood? Were you like, I want to be a nurse, let's do this? What got you on that track?
It's funny because when I was younger, when I was little, I was actually going to be CEO of my own company. I didn't know what company, but I was going to be
Look
CEO.
at you now, right?
Okay, so I've accomplished that goal. And then when I was probably like 6 or 7, I wanted to be a doctor. So I wanted to be a neurosurgeon.
Oh,
Not that that went away, but I kind of realized as being a nurse, like the doctors kind of stay out later. But they depend on us. Like
yeah,
we're kind of their backbones. So I was like, I don't have to go get my doctorates to help people and do what I want to do. So I kind of didn't finish my PhD, but
do you have any
I didn't.
plans to in the future, or are you just kind of on this path right
I
here?
want to go back for my NP because I
Okay,
only have a couple of years left. So
nice.
that in the future is something I do want to do. I want to go get my nurse practitioner.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, it sounds like you came up with a mission. You're like, you know what? I want to do this. I'm gonna do this. And then formulated a battle plan, started to execute that battle plan, and look at it now, right? Now you got Restore Me, and you're helping people out in the world by serving with the intention of promoting good and wellness and health out into this, into the world. So I love it. So one of the things that I want to do, Laura, is ask you a couple questions pertaining to your leadership role at Restore Me. And it doesn't have to be Restore Me, it could just be your leadership in general, but being that you are one of the owners and CEO, I think it'll fit nicely. So here we go. All right.
All right.
Question number one. All right. When it
All
comes
right.
to leadership, what do you struggle with the most being the CEO? Right. That position, a CEO, that's not easy. That's not an easy task. And a lot of times we're asked, hey, what are your successes? What do you do well? Right. When you're at the top, when you're killing it, what are you doing well? And we don't ask, hey, what are
Doing that.
what are some of the pain points? What do you struggle with? So what do you struggle with the most?
I think our struggle right now the most is like our expansion and how fast to do it.
Okay.
Um, because I feel like we're going really, really fast.
Okay.
And sometimes it feels like it's out of my control.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to feel like that. I think that and being above my peers now, and they've always been at that level,
Yeah.
you know? So it's different having to have that boundary in relationships when you bring people on from previous jobs to work with you. I think that's been my hardest right now.
Amen. Like, so hands down, that is probably in the top five when I talk to entrepreneurs, CEOs, in the top five pain points on the people side. We'll get to the going too fast, but on the people side, right? When we're dealing with people, we're such complex creatures that is the most difficult task. We got so many different personalities, right? I mean, total into the spectrum on the same team. And when we go from peers to boss or to manager, that in itself is a heavy lift up here because we want to stay, right? We're so used to this that we're just like, hey, what's going on? What's up, pal? What's up, buddy? Right? That we're now I'm your boss and I'm going to be telling you what to do when we were both doing the same thing, right? So it's very, very difficult to separate to go from from being buddy to being boss, right? And that takes time. It takes open conversations about understanding both sides, right? There's two sides. There's the people that you work with, the peers with, and having that conversation with them. And then it's you and how you're going to act, how you're going to react to that separation and that difference. So absolutely 100% understand that that's a difficult task. The
Yeah.
second, that going too fast, like bravo. I've been there when you're like, I'm pretty sure the wheels are falling off.
Yeah, like, should I keep going?
Yeah, right? Do I pump the brakes? Was I supposed to take the last exit and slow down a little bit? Right.
I know.
Absolutely get it. What are some of the things that you're like when you think about like, okay, wow, this is going way too fast. I need to take a step back. I need to pump the brakes. I need to slow down a little bit. What are some of the things that you're doing or thinking about doing to start kind of promote that?
Um, I guess to promote us, like slowing, like
To promote the you were talking about when things go too fast, like you
too
feel like
fast.
you
Yeah.
might just be going too fast to start promoting, excuse me, a slowdown.
Um, I guess mainly we have a group meeting because I
Yeah.
like to involve everyone from the bottom all the way up. I
Yeah.
like everyone to feel like they have a little bit of say so because everyone does matter in the company and I try and make them really feel that. Um, from our cleaning lady to our front desk girl, like everyone does a really good job in the company. So we have group meetings a lot to see, okay, like, can you handle this much more volume? Can you? And at
Yeah.
that point, that's how we've added staff because, okay, we're getting to our max. Can we add someone? And I'm, we're at 9 employees now. So,
Nice.
and that's scary too, having to add somebody and making sure payroll. And so all of that like takes a factor into it. I have a really good partner who's always like, it's gonna work though.
Absolutely.
So
Having that
I'm like,
positive
okay.
reinforcement is key. Well, Laura, I like when you talked about, when you were talking about the slowdown, hey, bringing the team in. It's not just you making the decision for everyone. It's bringing the team to the table and saying, okay, look, we are going so fast here. Are we, number one, are we on the right path? Number two, do we need to slow down? Now, if we're on the right path and we want to stay at the consistent speed, perfect. If we need to slow down, let me hear some ideas on how we're going to do that. How are we pumping the brakes? What are we doing to slow down the process? So I love the
Exactly.
fact that you're bringing in the team to that. And if you keep doing that, you're going to be extremely successful, right? We think about, I was talking with another individual yesterday, actually, about defining someone's legacy and someone's leadership, right? Somebody can come up to me and go, "Hey, Trevor, what kind of leader are you?" And I'm going to go, I mean, I'm badass. Like I'm the best. I'm the best leader ever because,
Amazing. Yeah.
right? Because I can think that, but that doesn't, that's not the true. That's not true. I mean, it might be, but the truth is going to be asking the people that I lead, hey, how good of a leader is Trevor? Ooh, I mean, like some days he shows up all right, other days he's a tyrant, some days he's just an all around asshole. So he's kind of like this, never ever steady. Understanding that the people are going to define who we are and who you are as leaders. So bringing your team in, your team defines you. You want to know how Laura leads? Go ask her team. So if you're bringing your team to the table, that's excellent because they feel valued. They feel wanted. They want to be here because you bring them in and pretty much tell them that they matter. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
You know, we try.
Good. Good. Okay. Number two,
Yeah.
as a leader, when things go south, what processes do you have in place to help mitigate risk? We talked about a slowdown and you talked about bringing your team in. So let's say that it's just a bad day. You've come in, things are just, they're going, it's Mayday, right? Red alert, right? Things are going south. How do you, as a leader, what process do you put in place or do you have in place to help mitigate risk and mitigate further Mayday?
Right. So as things are like going down and I start to hear things, most of the time it ends up like patient or an interaction, like, oh, either they feel like they weren't called or that's mainly what it is. I think most of the time there's business stuff too. But I learned everything there was before setting it up. So like if my MA's having a hard time and it's going down there and I can jump in and help. That's most of the time what I do is I jump in and I help and we're gonna get it done. And even if we have to sit here together all night, we figure it out. If I have to bring someone else in to help us, we'll figure it out, but we're gonna do it together, make sure it gets done, and then we'll go from there. Try and handle one problem at a time with that team member that needs it.
You know what? So I've got it. I absolutely respect and love that answer because, okay, have you ever seen or there's like little short movies or um gifs of a person at a stove or at a fire, right? And or the fire hasn't started yet. They're at a stove or whatever. Something catches on fire and they freeze. They're like, oh no, they panic. Oh my gosh, this just caught on fire. What do I do? Right? Oh, I don't know what to do. And they just start to freak out because this just caught them by surprise. Everything's happening right now. The house is burning down, and somebody walks over with a fire extinguisher and just goes Psh, and puts it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Problem solved. But when we get in the moment, right? When we get in the moment of going, oh, we're sinking, like this, oh, this is just a bad day. Man, I don't even know how to think right now. I don't know what to do. And the team, right? And that can spread like wildfire. One person starts to freak out and then they go, hey, Tina, what are we doing today? I mean, I don't know. You're freaking out. So I'm freaking out. And now Beth is freaked out. Now we're all freaked out, right? We're like, oh, God.
Yeah.
And then here comes Laura. Hey, I understand we've got an issue. Tell you what, I'm here. Let's work through it. Rather than the leader coming in and going, oh, yeah, we do have a problem. Way to go, Tina. Way to go, Beth. I don't know what this nightmare is, but you better fix it because you just put gasoline on that freak out fire, right? But instead, if you have a leader, if there's a leader that comes in with compassion and motivation to get the job done and right the ship, things are going to be all right. Because that leader can then go, okay, let's calm down. Let's dial down the emotion. Let's step back and let's look at this. How can we fix this? And then after we fix the problem, just like you guys have your team meetings, let's all gather around the table and let's talk this through. How are we not going to do this again? I love that answer. Your team's got to adore you, Laura.
I think so. We're pretty good at motivating and making sure we keep them, even if it's like she's a little overwhelmed with work. She's like, I don't know how I'm gonna get it done, or we'll offer a bonus if she wants to come in on Saturday, or can
Yeah,
we have someone help you? Or so they enjoy, that they get paid for the extra time, and we try
absolutely.
and really make it worthwhile and take care of them. And we're
That's
very family oriented, so all of our kids kind of like if they need something or we all go to each other's games, and it's I try to make it really family feeling in the business too.
that's I love that fact. Because nobody supports one another more than family, right? So when you've got that family feeling, when you've got that bond and that tie in, you're gonna be like, look, listen, I got you. Like I got you. It strengthens that having those strong bonds and being able, I mean, it just strengthens avenues of communication, respect, and loyalty and dedication to one another. So like I love it. I absolutely love it.
100%.
Okay.
You treat
Last
them good,
question.
they'll treat you good.
What'd you say?
I said, if you treat them good, they'll treat you good.
Absolutely, because they feel they're going to follow you because you're letting them know on a daily basis that they matter. So no,
Yes.
I don't care what company you work in, you want to feel valued. We want to feel like we have a purpose. The moment we stop feeling we have a purpose at a company, or we don't feel valued, or we just feel like a clock number, we're going to go, so I'm going to go look for another job because this isn't feeding me. I need to feel fed. I need to feel that I'm wanted, that I'm needed, that I'm part of something greater. And
Yeah.
if leaders can provide that, you will have an unstoppable team. Guaranteed. Okay. Ready for the last question?
All
I'm
right.
gonna I just looked at the clock. Like I just looked down. I'm like, well, I don't feel like we've been talking for like 5 minutes and it's almost
I know, that's been 20.
it's been 20. Okay. Question number 3.
Okay.
How do you, so we've talked about struggling as a CEO, right? We've talked about mitigating risk. Now we're going to go to a positive. I don't even know why I did that with my eyebrow when I said positive, but that's like, I should have done this when I was talking about the negatives and just been like, as positive. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how do you rally your troops and in what ways do you motivate your people? You kind of touched on that a little bit when you were talking about, overtime or, extra bonuses, things like that. But could you elaborate on that a little bit more? So, how do you rally your troops? Like, let's go. And in what ways do you motivate your people?
So everyone likes to eat, right? So in our team meetings, most of the time we do either breakfast or lunch and we feed them. And that happens once a week. We tend to do lunch a couple times a week for the whole staff. So
That is
everyone
amazing.
gets fed a couple times a week. When we have dinners, we try and make sure they're invited if it correlates with them. We try and make them feel really involved so it's not just us there. Um, one of we help again, kind of feel like family. One of the girls, her truck broke down, so she's a single mom. So we went, picked up her truck. I have a couple businesses, so mechanic for my other business fixed her car, and we paid for the labor and everything. She's like, well, you're overtime for a little bit until it's caught up. That's what we'll do. And she was like, okay. and she did her overtime, and we've still bonused her because she's done an amazing job. She'll do extra and she'll go above and beyond, and we'll do an extra 100 or so on the paycheck. Or and so we kind of try and entice them at all times to want to do the right thing,
Yeah,
and they do. They stay loyal and they work hard, and we are a good team.
absolutely. Well, I'll say this. First of all, you had me at meals. I mean, I love to eat, so I would be like, yes, I will sign up for Laura's team because did you
Yes.
say we're going out for dinner like twice a week? Right? Because not there's two things there, right? If we're going out for dinner twice a week, there's bonding, right? You talked about the family setting, right? We're around a table, we're discussing, we're laughing. Maybe some of it's pertaining to work, maybe it's not. Maybe we're just talking about our families and what matters most to us, but we're doing it together. That's the first thing. The second is meals aren't free, right? So whether it's grilling out, whether it's going out, a company is footing the bill. That takes pressure off of a family's finances. So not only are you providing sustenance for the spirit, but you're also
Mhm.
helping with somebody's bank account, which provides value once again to them.
Yes.
Laura, as I sit here, it's a cliche statement, like everybody says it, you hear it all over, but the reason why you hear it all over is because it's true, right? So goes the leader, goes the culture. So
Yeah.
if you've got a leader like yourself that is not self-absorbed, that is promoting the people, that is bringing the people to the table, that culture is going to thrive. It's going to flourish because they're continuing to be fed. And I can't stress that enough. Audience, it's extremely important to listen to Laura's message tonight and how she has and continues to lead her team. And if you take anything away from Laura's message tonight, I hope it's this: your people matter more than the profit. If you strengthen, if you bring your people to the table, if you provide them hope, happiness, and a feeling of being part of something greater than self, that profit, that's going to come. Put your people first. Laura, I got to tell you, like, this has gone by so fast, and I have absolutely loved talking with you. I loved, meeting you earlier this year. It's absolute honor. How can people get a hold of you? Like, what social media are you on? How can people contact you?
So we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. We have our own website, restoreme.health. So our phone number is there. Our phone number is on the LinkedIn. We're on Instagram. We're pretty much on every platform. They can find Restore Me all over the place.
That is awesome. So, folks, if you're interested, and you should be, in contacting Laura and looking up Restore Me and what services they offer, please do so. Laura just kind of gave you direction on where you should go. In addition, I'll be providing some of those links when I post this on YouTube and post this on LinkedIn. So as always, audience, this will be on my YouTube channel, and I'll be providing Laura with a copy of it. So I'm sure she'll do something with it, and then I'll drop a post on LinkedIn as well. So family, crew, it's been awesome talking with Laura for you tonight. Laura, once again, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Oh, thank you.
It was amazing.